So I've got a bi-wheel chart set up here. Can you hear me? All right, let's do this. All right, so this is a bi-wheel chart. The inside wheel is the Libra point, the fall equinox here in the northern hemisphere. Or, I don't know how you divide that up on a flat earth, but if you're going there, we're somewhere on this pie. All right, and then on the outer wheel, we've got a progressed chart for the Aries point. Let's dial that in a bit. We're going to make it match. All right, damn it. Oh, wait, here we go. We're almost there. This is pretty close. All right, we'll just say that this is the exact moment. All right, so with that tweaking, it changed some of the hours that I talked about in the previous video, or some of the degrees, but only by minutes, so it's all right. Good thing I didn't speak about the transiting moon, because that's 8 degrees different. In any case, let's look at this for a moment. So that Libra point, fall equinox, we've got Pallas Athena in a new phase conjunction with the sun, bringing in that spirit, bringing in the power of perception. And I feel for many that power, that perception, is given power through reanalysis of past experiences and the value therein we took from those experiences. And it was how we, what is the word? We could say compromised, but it's like how accommodating we've been with our own energy, our life force, our own expression, how we've held that back to allow others to be. And in the analysis, whether ignorance or intent, we know that sometimes others had forced us into that way of being because we had repressions through trauma loop experiences, trauma, response, repression, projection, where someone else's shadow was stronger than ours and it needed to infringe upon us so that we could feel the pain of what it is we were trying to digest, so that we could, in response to growing or healing that inner wound, we would occupy the space and push back, or how that occupation would cause us to push back and give us a space to grow into ourselves more authentically. All right, so we see with Mercury here and the moon, that sextile, or no, that trine, and it's going to grow into a grand Earth trine as the moon progresses on the 23rd. So we're just looking at the inner chart here, the fall equinox. Okay, so that moon is progressing, and it's going to be in a grand Earth trine with Jupiter, retrograde, Mercury, still on the shadow path, so we're digesting what we've been going through with Mercury and Venus. And that is transforming Mars here at 17 degrees opposing Chiron in Aries, Mars-ruled sign. It is that repression of the self-expression, our own individual needs, our own abilities, how we've squared that into Capricorn, how we've given away that power so that there could be some kind of peace, some kind of balance. And sometimes the peace was because we didn't recognize or realize our own value, or that we were digesting experiences that were gifted us so that we could cultivate character through those experiences as a new expression. And it doesn't feel that way, it doesn't read that way in the moment. And it shouldn't be really taken that way. It should be taken as it is, a process, and it's to be lived. So with Virgo Mercury here, that will give us the ability to try and, not try, but actually analyze, quantify what we had felt into motion. Reaching into Capricorn, how do you restructure your ego through understanding these experiences as a system through process with this reach with Jupiter? As Jupiter expands us, it builds our awareness. It's the guru, it's the teacher. You know, some people call it good luck, but good luck doesn't exist unless there's an opposite. So that's how Jupiter works with Saturn. And if you look here with the sun, the spirit flowing through us, our ego drive to express at a spiritual level, completely unconscious and deep, unless you've got certain placements, but it is in a yod with Saturn here in the disillusionment phase in the Piscean dream, and the south node of Chiron in Taurus, 3 degrees Taurus. So it is, we're collectively healing our ancestors and the progeny of the future. But more importantly, we're healing right here, right now, and it is a building of an awareness within you that's coming through understanding the value that's filling in the void of what once was, because you are digesting, releasing what that is so you can become who you can be, and that opens you up to grow. So the sun is infusing us with that kind of energy. And in that energy expression, you can see here as Venus comes into balsamic phase conjunction with with Saturn here on the 19th of March. You can see where the moon is. It's in Leo. Leo is in the working transformative quincunx with the moon during this equinox period. So it's that final transformation here from this mode, as it's, you know, just after Cancer giving the spirit of the understanding of that emotional wounding. It's giving it new language for new expression here. So we're carrying this progression, and the moon is always evolving, changing, growing, and sowing seeds within you. And the seeds, you know, your spirit can express through burning what that is, feeling what that is, digesting it, applying it, going through it. You know, just think of life dynamic. Try not to settle on the statics of moon means this, sun means this, my doctor says this, my experience says this, the world says this. Try and realize the world, all this stuff is phasal. It's just a step in a progression, statics and the ever-flowing dynamic of which you are part. So, you know, the Venus and Mars had a conjunction somewhere here in the third decan of Aquarius. We're breaking through the emotional barriers of what we had been growing and cultivating our awareness through. So we're digesting this, and the moon is representing that through emotional awareness. when you feel things and you go through mental loops, you're processing the emotions and you can get stuck in those things. But as you do it, as you express it, the emotions change to become more awareness, and you apply what you learned into life through your consciousness, registering things differently, understanding things differently, dynamics changing because of that, opportunities arising, visions coming into full clarity or disappearing so that new ones may rise up. So this Libra point here is bringing us into a phasal process of healing the wounded self, essentially, for an optimal or more natural, more pure expression of who and what we are through what we can be, through what we do, what we feel, what we want, what we desire. Nothing is inherently one thing, and good and bad is part of that. And we are closing out this illusion with the Neptune-Sun opposition, which is basically today. I forget, I'm on the 20th as I make this video. Over the course of these coming days, I'll give it like a 8-degree orb in opposition with the Sun. Well, maybe 10 because we're on the Libra point. Maybe 15, hell. We've been going through stuff all the time. We're always dreams within dreams, and they're just dreams until they become realizations. You can look at it like metaphorically at the most mundane or metaphysical level, and you're right. It's just your preference. Exercise your belief. Change it. Grow it, expand it, and you can do that right now with your emotional awareness, helping you to digest what you thought was a static into a more natural expression of allowance, acceptance, judgment of your value. There were times when I hated my enemies, but I learned how to thank them. I was gifted those enemies. They brought me wisdom. But with Saturn, I got Saturn most aspected. Time and space we digest it into our being. Humans are time and space. We are time, essentially. But when you're a child, or when you have an experience, it takes time, the song has to catch up. And as the song catches up, that experience is ingested in you, it's digested, and it becomes the material of your psyche. And it shows through your expression. That's, that Capricorn to Leo transformation here. I don't dance and I don't do all that kind of stuff. Some people do and they love it, and that's how they express. So, that's an example of a Capricorn to Leo transformation, Imagine someone that doesn't dance and all that stuff becoming someone that does and gaining fulfillment through that process. So life is like progression. It's not statics. But some people are digesting a lot more than others in certain areas, and so they look like statics. They feel like it. And they live it, That's why Saturn rules karma. But karma is two-factor. It's Nothing exists as it is. It has to be its opposite in order to exist. So you can measure and you can unite all opposites through just awareness, through acknowledging awareness. This gives you ability to live in cycle. You can see at this time when the sun is in Aries, Pluto has gone back into Aquarius as well. So this is the spirit we carry forward. This is a new cycle. Look at when Pluto went into Aquarius last time. That was an echo. This is the expression. And I feel like when you got the energy, when you got the knowledge, you can apply your experience for wisdom and co-create it. So if you study these systems like astrology, or you become acquainted with your growing awareness without system but with your own internal language, then you grow. You optimize your expression. You'll see that Mercury here is conjunct balsamic phase conjunction to Chiron as well. Conjunct the North Node, so it's our destiny to heal. Many ways that will happen. The world certainly will give us the nourishment to make it so. It's just, where's your awareness? Are you oscillating external in the ebb? Or are you finding an internal flow? You know, are you going with that Venus gift with Saturn here? All right, well, there's a lot to say. I mean, you can break this down many ways, but thanks for watching, listening, and being.